Hello everybody, our text for this week is on Joel chapter 2 verse 25 to 26, and it says, "And I will restore or replace for you the years that the locust has eaten." Some version actually called the locusts cankerworm and caterpillars, the hopping locust, the stripping locust, and the crawling locust, my great army which I sent you. And you shall eat plenty and be satisfied, and praise the name of the Lord your God, who has dealt wondrously with you. And my people shall never be put to shame. So last week we had our prayers for reconciliation and restoration, and we believe with faith that God has answered our prayers. So I'm going to tell us on what the cankerworm and caterpillar is, that locust that was found in that verse, how the locusts operate and how they leech on vegetation, therefore destroying that vegetation or plant. Cankerworm and caterpillar or locust is a type of insect that feeds on plants. So the cankerworm and caterpillars feed on young, tender plants. Sometimes they feed on trees, therefore rendering the trees useless and making them open to all kinds of diseases and attack from other pests. This leads to stunted growth and unfruitfulness. Sometimes these locusts or cankerworm feeds on fruits of the plants, and those fruits end up being bad for consumption. They keep feeding rapidly on plants, and they get bigger and bigger as they feed on these plants. While the plants get damaged and weak, the cankerworm and caterpillar ends up spreading. They reproduce and they spread round the plant. The cankerworm and caterpillar gets fatter and fatter and spreads to other plants through various means. The wind blows on them and spreads them to other plants. The moth or the butterfly lay eggs, and they lay their eggs on different healthy plants suitable for their consumption. Animals and birds also help in the spread of the cankerworm and the locust by consuming them, and maybe through their feces or through different ways. A bird can pick on the locust and fly to another plant and drop it in the process of flying. Even human beings also, through agriculture, through cultivation, through the distributing of soil from one place to another, can end up spreading these caterpillar and cankerworms. Cankerworms and caterpillars are attracted to certain environments, especially environment that produces food, good vegetative environments. They survive in temperatures that are neither too cold or too hot. They survive in lukewarm temperatures. They survive where there's shelter, they survive where there's food, they survive where there are no predators, they survive in good mild temperature and in places that they can get their food. That is how a cankerworm or caterpillar or locust operates.